Alright YouTube, and welcome to another Borderlands 3 news and information video. In this one I want to talk a little bit about Troy Calypso, brother to Tyreen and joint leader of the Children of the Vault. We've had a whole bunch of lore and information given to us over the past few months about the Calypso twins and their goals and motivations, their backstories and their powers, but nothing has ever been quite as interesting or as monumental as the information I'm about to share with you. Before we start off, I just want to say that this information is sourced from an article over on venturebeat.com, which will be linked down below in the description, and the MOZE gameplay you'll be seeing on screen right now is from IGN, also linked in the description. Without further ado, let's get into it. So Paul Sage, creative director on the Borderlands 3 team, shared some amazing new details with GamesBeat about the characters of the game, specifically Troy and Tyreen Calypso. He states that they wanted to introduce a villain that could potentially top Handsome Jack, as of course we all know Handsome Jack is arguably one of the greatest video game villains of all time, with such an incredible personality and charisma. They didn't really know how they could top him. He talks about some of the thoughts the team had about making the Calypso twins interesting to the player, and glazes over a few small facts that we already knew, such as them being twins, of course, and also the fact that they lead a cult. But one thing he does touch on that stands out, and I believe this to be the very first time that this has been mentioned by anyone on the Borderlands 3 team or in any cosplay guide or character information that we already have, is when he says they were conjoined at one time. This is an absolutely huge piece of information in regards to the storyline of Borderlands 3, and although Paul Sage does say right here in this paragraph that it doesn't really make them interesting either, I think he's completely wrong, because this piece of information opens up such cool storyline opportunities. Of course we know that Tyreen is one of the 6 female Sirens that exist within the universe, but what we also know is that her brother Troy also has these very same Siren markings or tattoos on his body, making him the first, potentially, male Siren we have ever seen within the Borderlands universe. This all makes sense due to the fact that the two were conjoined at one point. It could be possible that Tyreen was born a Siren, and due to Troy being conjoined at birth to Tyreen, she has channeled her Siren powers and abilities into him somehow. We know that part of Troy's spine and also his entire arm are missing, and this is presumably the part of the body that was conjoined to Tyreen in some way, which is weird because we see no evidence of Tyreen ever being conjoined. She's missing no body parts, unless of course it's underneath her clothes somewhere. But anyways, yeah, we see Troy with this huge mechanical arm, meaning that these are not just cybernetic enhancements, i.e. he's not a Wilhelm style character, but more so his cybernetic arm and spine are a result of once being conjoined to Tyreen. Also in the cosplay guide, Troy's introductory paragraph states the following: Tyreen's one-armed brother in arms and twin. Troy is the man behind the message. While Tyreen may shine in the spotlight and rake in the followers, it's Troy who carefully crafts her persona and propaganda for maximum effect. Despite being cunning and cutthroat in his own right, Troy depends upon his twin sister for support and survival. They're inseparable, and while he may live in his twin's shadow, he still wields tremendous influence and is a force to be reckoned with. I think this paragraph very cleverly foreshadowed this piece of lore, particularly with the line, "they're inseparable," because, well, of course they're inseparable, they were literally conjoined. Not to mention the line, "and while he may live in his twin's shadow," which I'm now also reading a bit too much into and thinking, oh, maybe he was conjoined to Tyreen like via her back, which is why we haven't seen any scarring on her body or anything just yet. He was literally living in her shadow at one point, if you put it that way. Maybe I'm reading too much into things, but still, that paragraph has a whole new meaning now that we know this information about the Calypsos. There is one final thing I should touch on, which may be linked to this line from the paragraph. Troy depends on his twin sister for support and survival, and this is the glowing blood vials which can be seen around Troy's neck. I'll say this is 100% me theorising and putting my tinfoil hat on, and I may be wrong, and this idea may have come from my love of Call of Duty Zombies and the story behind Richtofen's blood vials. But anyways, could it be that these blood vials contain Tyreen's Siren blood, and that is what gives Troy his power and life force, essentially? I think this would make sense since when they were conjoined they kinda shared the same blood in a way, and since separating Troy is without his Siren powers, unless he has the blood of his Siren sister Tyreen to charge his Siren energy. Does this also explain why his tattoos are red? Am I being crazy or am I on something? I don't know. Let me know down in the comments below. I'm going to wrap this up here and hopefully get a discussion going. What do you guys think of Troy and Tyreen's situation? Anyways, thank you so much for watching, checking out the channel, listening to me get a little bit too excited for what Borderlands 3 has in store for us. Honestly, I think they've done a really good job at building up the intrigue and mystery with the Calypso twins, so hats off to you, Paul Sage. You've fulfilled what you set out to do, and hopefully these guys will be great contenders against Handsome Jack. Thanks again guys, hit that like button if you enjoyed or found this video and theory interesting. Hit subscribe if you're new to the channel or want to see even more Borderlands 3 news and information videos, and don't forget to leave a comment down below letting me know how you feel about this particular topic. Thanks again, and I'll see you in the next one.